Hi guys, how are you doing? This is a bit of HQ, bit of floating. I'm a one-trick pony in passing guards. It's pretty much HQ all the time, if I can. If I can't, I'm kind of stuck and I don't know what to do. So pretty much HQ is it for me. So yeah, I'm just going to go. There's a big range of people here between black belts and white belts and so on. So we might just define HQ, get to it, get comfortable with it, and then we can start going to the a little bit more fancier floating positions. So I'm going to start straight away. I'm going to take my beautiful assistant today. Not that good.
Assistant.
So this is what we mean by kind of HQ. There's kind of various different forms, but it's pretty much one leg in between two. I was going to be doing the pinch later on. Well worth going to, make sure you're there. So that's me, my PR work done for today. So this is kind of the one I'm going to be focusing on more than anything else. Okay, how do we get here and how do we maintain and what we're looking for. So I suppose we'll start off a couple of simple entries. I always make sure that I'm at the same level as my opponent, particularly as he's sitting guard. I'm going to grab the ankle. As I grab the ankles, I'm going to put him up onto his back and I'm going to step in at a 45-degree angle. So what I'm aiming for is my shin to catch him in the crook of his knee. I'm aiming to place this in the crook of my hip, ideally. I don't really want his knee centered for me in this position. I kind of want to flare on the outside. So again, I grab, I step, and I have this 45-degree angle. I'm forcing him onto one hip, making sure that he doesn't get two hips on the ground. I want to keep one hip on the ground. I also want to make sure that his knee line doesn't match his hip line. If his knee line and his hip line are the same, he's got push, and I don't want that. I want to make sure that when I step in, his knee is nice and high. Okay? I've put this into the crook of my hip on this side of my body, ideally. This will come, but this is our position. Hand position, my left hand pushing down the knee, my right hand cupping, and I'm hip heavy, not head heavy. When I want to float, I go head heavy, but this is my position for the moment. So cupping the knee, this is it. Okay, so nice and easy. I'll do it from that position, pushing, 45-degree angle, and it's making it difficult for him to re-pommel the leg back in as well. It's just doubling up on that. So this is my position. So that's option one. Pretty good? Easy enough. Will I do it again? Yes, no, maybe? Again. No problem. Again, different angle. Grab the ankles. Again, approaching my opponent. Hand fighting, catch the ankles, push. 45-degree step. My lead leg is there. My knee's proud. Don't roll the heel off the floor because you're going to go toppling forward, particularly if they start grabbing your heel. So I want to land in that position. Hand placing the knee here. If I was playing in the gi, I'd obviously grab the gi here and use my elbow as a frame. But we're not doing the gi. So this is it. Easy enough? We got this. I'm going to give it a go. 1, 2, 3. Just a couple of things. The front leg is the leg where the heel has to be on the ground. The back leg is active. I can move. I can take that heel off if I need to. It's kind of my forward force. If I square up and he hits me with the knee, I go down. So I'm going to have to be active with that base leg. So I get you here. Other things that you might have to deal with is like foot hooks. Again, control the knees. Heel up. Knee points towards the leg. I lock it, and then I pivot, and I'm still finding that 45 degrees here. Okay, cupping the knee, posting, and active. So that's another one as well, if you want to play around with that. Heel up, try to get your knee above his shin, drive the shin, heel to butt, and use it as a pivot point, and you have that 45-degree stance again. Easy enough, you want to try that?
Yeah.
Okay, so engage, control the legs, bring my heel up, try to get my kneecap above his shin line, drive it in, releases the hook, I pivot. As I pivot, I'm looking for that 45-degree stance. So I'm forcing him onto one hip, giving him less options. This is my lockup. If he's reaching for my back leg, yeah, I can hand fight, but I should be able to move and adjust. Okay, let's try it. 1, 2, 3.
too hard to push?
This is too smashed. I can't get it straight.
If I have your knee straight up, is that
I
better?
would, if this is where you are now, I would probably go like,
Bring you back in. How's that feel? We were talking about the pain. So if you do it right, you should leave a mark on their shin.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Okay. So again, just on this, I'm using this part of the bone, the upper leg. When I drive in, I'm finding the weakest part of his. So there's a nice pain. And again, that pain usually ends up with a bit of a reaction.
No.
I stretch. Bonus points for sounds. Okay, so that's fine. We're going to be dealing with, like, obviously if they grab the foot, that's another thing that we're going to deal with, but we're going to go into the floating position now next. So from here, I'm comfortable, I'm engaged, I found that sweet spot. I have the knee on the outside. If the knee's in the center, I don't really like it too much straight away, but that's my sweet spot if I can. So from here, we have what I call a high float position. So I go way above them, my head goes past them, and my legs are in the air floating. I still want connection, okay, with the inside of their leg, and I still want that kind of deep, heavy hip. Okay, so my head goes forward, and I get to here. Okay, so this is our kind of a high position. So what should happen is, when we do it right, there should be space exposed back here. If I do it wrong, this is kind of a low position. You see there's very little space. So I kind of go high. That's our space. That's a nice sweet spot there. Again, each have their benefits, but for us today, we just kind of get to here, post our hands above the head, and just have that balancing position. Your training partner can move around, not fight you. Okay, just move around a little bit. I just want you to kind of keep that control. Okay, easy enough. So one more time. Again, either entry is fine. You can do that straight to here, post, and get that high position. I should see a gap back here. Both legs. Okay, we'll put that in a second. So just balance in that position, kind of find your sweet spot, and get that connection. Okay, let's try it. 1, 2, 3. So some of you already probably played this, and I can see a lot of people are foot pommeling already, and doing it similar to me. Some of you are doing it better than me, but I'm going to steal that for later somewhere. This is our position here. I'm going to float, and I want to slide up towards the knee, but not too far. There's kind of like, we call it Goldilocks. It's just right. Too low, too high, just right. Just finding that sweet spot. There. From here, I should see if I can pommel with both legs. Okay. If I pommel with the inside leg, I usually do what's called a redirect. So from here, I hook and I redirect. When I redirect, I want to fill the space in behind, create a position, take the back, forward pressure on my toes. It's usually something I like doing. So if I'm able to, and I have that sweet spot, catch. Yeah. Redirect. Basically, I'm pushing him towards his open side. And I redirect. From here, I usually punch the floor in between the legs, block, keep the pressure, making sure that he can't come into me. Again, cradle is a good option from here as well. So that's that option. The other option is my outside leg hooks. And I usually kind of do this when I know I'm comfortable in half guard top, where I push and I put him down. I still kind of redirect him. Notice I kind of rotated his hip, but I pushed down, I got to here. This gives me like good options to back as well. But it's kind of a redirect if I'm comfortable there. So forward, outside leg hooks. I kind of push down and turn. See it? I like this position. You know, it's a good way if you can grab the arm, come up for the back, all of those things. So I'm going to just reverse it. So getting to this position. Inside leg, hooks, and I'm going to redirect this way. I want to block the hip, so I actually, in essence, block with my hand going through, stay on my toes, chest on the top of the apex, and that's a good spot to finish. Option 1. Option 2, again, finding that sweet spot. From here, push, rotate, and come back to that sweet spot as well. Again, I want to control his hips if I can. So that's it. No time for that one. Easy enough? All right, let's try that one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if people are struggling to get the foot palming right, it's just kind of a little bit of practice, but it's also just kind of finding that niche area on the shin, too high, too low, and so on. So people are struggling to maybe turn their hips. That's okay too. It's just kind of something that I like doing. If you kind of end up here, that's not so bad if his back is flat, because you're one step closer to passing. So it's not such a bad thing. I do like turning the hip because I like chasing the back. That's always my way, okay? And the other alternative is if you don't want to play that foot hook position or that pommel position, is you're going to bring your heels to your butt, and then you're going to rotate the hip. And you can get to a smash pass position if you want, or you can walk around to the back depending. So pushing up from here, heels to my butt. I have that pivot point, drive, and again I can do cheerleader, lock, and rotate. I can smash, or I can just walk to the side. So we'll do it from the other side. From here, it's at that high point, heels to butt, and then I'm using my hip. I'm trying to connect with his hip. Once I connect with his hip, I start sliding in and filling the space between the legs. Okay, at the back of the legs. So again, if the foot pommeling is not for you, this is a good option. From here, switch, switch. Just getting light on your hips. Okay, want to try that one? 1, 2, 3.
And then hip to hip. Hip. Oh, he really got his foot up here. Yeah.
I have a little bit of time left, so I'm going to deal with a common problem, which is where basically they grab the foot. Okay, it's hard to kind of do a clean float off this. It can be done, but it's a little bit harder. If a person grabs your foot, the first thing you should be doing is looking for the underhook. So I have the underhook. Sometimes I play like ribs and elbow, and I get to this position, then it's kind of like we talked about the high float, and we have the low float, which is kind of here. Okay, so I just want to make sure that he doesn't get them as much out of this as he hopes. If they hold the ankle, I usually underhook. I'm going to do like a high float as much as I can, and I'm going to post my hand. I'm going to keep this underhook because I don't want to kind of come up and then my leg to be dragging behind without something to connect to him. So I get to here, he has my ankle, nice grab. I'm going to underhook. From here, I'm going to go up high, and then I'm going to shoot my outside knee under his head. Still having the underhook. So I'm just going to rotate. So this is our position. I'm going to connect my hands so that if a scramble happens, so if he lets go, I can pull the arm to me. I switch to the triangle. This is a bad triangle, but it's worse because of this. Because I feel like when it's done properly, I feel like I'm breaking his arm or his collarbone when it's done properly. Okay, so grabs the ankle, get the underhook, high post, he shoots in, and I sit underneath. I connect my hands and I make sure it's nice and tight. He doesn't like that. Okay, when that happens, I pull the arm towards me, bring the leg out, roll to this knee, keep this leg high, switch to the triangle. Now pull the arm, so he feels like his collarbone's about to break, and his arm's about to break in the choke, so it's like 3 in 1. You got that?
Amazing.
Okay. So it's got the underhook, high posting position, knee shoots in, and I give him a pillow. Connect my hands as quickly as possible. I don't want to mess around. So if he stays like this, that's fine. Again, if he lets go, pull the arm up towards me. This is nasty. Up, leg comes out, roll to my shoulder, get the lock in. You want to try that? Yes.
Now, when he did it all the time, he lifted his head up when you need to shoot.
Yeah.
What do you do if he keeps it on the mat?
I get him a nice pack for the side of his ear, because I will. But if you actually, you'll see a lot of guys, like even just here, like, what's he doing now? His head's off the ground. Most people are engaged with their head off the ground.
You should be off the ground.
Yeah, so like I've never really had to worry about it because most people just have their head off the ground.
If your head's flat on the ground, you can't move, can you? You kind of need to be up to move.
Yeah, so it seems to be a natural kind of thing. So again, pose. If his head is on the ground, I'm going to do it slowly. But I would do that like nasty. Catch. If he lets go, it's fine. Boom, bring the leg to the side. I fall to the near hip. Keep pulling that arm. I can't stress that enough. Pull that arm up. Triangle, squeeze. It feels, it's a choke, but it also feels like I'm going to snap his collarbone. And his tricep is getting mangled as well. Because I'm using the bony part of my twig arm to do it. Okay, pretty good? Yes?
If he's refusing to let go of that hand, what do you?
I do something else. If he
Thank
does,
you.
So I go, I come in. Usually what I do, not the whole leg. Usually what I do is I fall to my shoulder and I let his head go to the other side. And then I switch. I'm way more powerful. You can also change to a Kimura grip. If I go to here, I fall to my side. I fall to my side. I want to get the head to the other side, and I can switch to a Kimura grip to break. Once I get to here, pinch the knees. So that's my solution, which I was about to do anyway, but it's okay. Okay, you're ahead of me. Yes.
Are you doing anything specific to get over his left knee?
No, just his knee can only go so far. So it's like the flexible people will probably bring their knee up to their chin, but I just keep going. It's going to clear it eventually because I have all the movements and they don't. So yeah, yeah. Just keep going. If I have to. Okay, let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, so look, I didn't really get to do if they don't let go of the leg option, but it is there if you need to drill it. If you have any questions on the open mat, I'll hang around and we can drill, find a little space and we can drill a little bit. I saw a couple of guys like in the Kimura. There's a nice little, I can grab the wrist and I can kind of dive over and reach in for the Kimura as well. That's there as well if you want it. One or two of you were kind of setting it up. I could see it, so I was like, you can run with it now. But yeah, thanks very much for coming in today. Really appreciate you, so thanks. Cheers.